This is Jonathan St. James, and you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast.
All right, folks. Once again, it is Jonathan St. James. Thank you. All right, be quiet. And you're listening to The Truth is Still Straight podcast. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to all those who are listening, including Sister Millie from the West Coast. Hope she's doing all right. Okay, folks. Now I'm going to give a shout out to all those who support, like, subscribe, whatever you're doing, watching, listening, listening in your sleep, watching in your sleep, or it's actually watching you. And those people are Pedro Falcone, Kenny Alpha, Sister Millie from the West Coast, Burundi Shall Smile One Day, Jario V, Mr. Wilkes, Milton Gonzalez, Snotty, Reggie, Courtney K. Law, Latoya, Shilya, Michael Thomas, Darrell Big G Galloway, Sam T, James Wilson, Tyrone Biggs, Terrence Meir, J.D. Whitelaw, Julian Flournoy, Kid Vegas 8402, Eric Jordan, Michael McCreary, Kane Major, Kundalini Lee, Marcus A. Morris, Heath, 313 Money Team, Tashawn Howe, Steve Smith, Marvin Banks, Anthony Perry, Nelson Fu, Luke Afsaf, Be Minded, T.M. Rowland, Flavor Sweet, Eric Jordan, Glenn Isaac, McTow Griffin, Soapbox Willie, Steve Apoku, Brian Lindemann, Jojo A. Gogo, Big K3695, Still Sharp and Still, Stefan, Plug 2, Chaos Angel, Thomas Ford, Gary Leonard, Fidel Castro, Frank Atungfor, Marcus Renton, Cunha Z Almighty, Krista Brown, Joe Fitt, Jonathan Pope, Corporate ENT, Wash Gamer, Dominic Volpe, Ten Lassie, Total Misdemeanor 75, Dan M, Amajek, Showtime, Michael Ray, Jay Wade, R.W. Lamont, Michelle Carlisle, Sandra Jones, Cobra Clutch, Tyrell Cole, AMD Sutherland, Day Day China, Sarah Aldine, No Edit Vlog Philippines, George Stewart, J. Not Lambert, Jose Garcia, Rada Submissive Wife, Louis Campos, Cosmic Funk Rabbit, Go Navy Beat Army, Cole Bush, Live, Love, Plan, Pray, and finally, Cat and Philly, thank you, and I appreciate it.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful art. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
All right, folks. All right, we're about to get into this right now. About to get into this Case Samuels. And of course, I always like to set up the video, so let me do that right now. And this comes from the August 25th, 2021 video at the 46:14 mark. And the name of this video is Do Modern Women Care What You Think? And this one should be very interesting. I don't think there's an argument. I quizzed through it, but I didn't hear anything that was very explosive. So let's get to it. About to set up the audio. And here goes the video. Let's play it now.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 35.
All right. What's up with all these backup plans?
I've been told by my friends that I should have them, but I don't have the time or the energy to entertain multiple men. So
okay, you've been told by your female friends?
Yeah, my older ones, my younger ones. I'm like, it's not my lifestyle, and I don't believe in having backups. So.
Are you involved in a relationship right now?
Nope, I'm single.
You have any kids?
No kids.
Is that a dog?
Maybe outside.
Oh, okay. So why were your friends trying to tell you to get a backup plan?
Did you see that?
Maybe because the previous relationship or guy that I had been dealing with, it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to. So they just said, well, go explore other options. And
okay.
I mean, for me, I wanted to work that situation out. So I'm like, I'm not about to jump ship. I found a great guy. I want to see if this could go somewhere. If it can't, then we move on to the next. Not having a
when was your last relationship?
Relationship defined as we are monogamous. It's been some years. I've had plenty of
You
situationships.
stupid.
How many years?
I can't even say. I don't even remember.
All right, let me stop it there. First of all, I can see definitely what the red flags are with this lady. And this lady's very aggressive. I'm gonna tell you, aggressive can be exciting in the beginning when dealing with men, but over the long term, that trait becomes very toxic. It's a turnoff after a while, and she seems very aggressive. She came on almost with the sort of aggressive tone, chewing the gum, and then she decides she wanted to take the gum out of her mouth while she was talking to Kevin, and that was just something else. Not some. She's an attractive lady. She seems, but the problem there I can see is a personality problem, not necessarily a looks problem. So I just wanted to stop it there. Tell me what you think in the comment section about her.
Do you want to get married?
I do want to get married, yes.
Because that's a problem, though.
Yeah, I need to be intentional about dating.
Well, it's a problem because if somebody's going to interview you, you can't answer a question. How long your relationship is, last relationship, that's a red flag.
True. I totally get that and understand.
So, yeah, they're dogs.
Yeah, they're outside.
Okay.
I don't have
All right. She live in the PJs. Shout out to the PJs.
I don't live in the PJs.
That's not me, by the way.
No, seriously though. Okay, your last relationship, you were 35. Was it 10 years ago?
I'd say about a year ago.
Well, y'all were monogamous, committed.
Yes.
How long did it last?
It lasted about 6 months.
Wow.
When was the last time you had a relationship over 2 years?
Wow.
I have not.
Boom. There you go, brothers and sisters. There you have it. Without saying a word, this woman has a personality problem. Visually, definitely approachable. Attitude, personality, just by the way she carries herself, I can tell you this lady is difficult. And this is the problem. I'm going to tell you straight off the bat that this is the problem in relationships, that a lot of women, especially women like this, and women who have difficulty being in relationships, they don't understand what it means to bring something to the table. They don't know what bringing to the table is. So they see the men must do A, B, C, D to be with them, and then they are just themselves in the relationship. I'm telling you, it happens more times than it's not. I've seen this time and time again. And I'm going to tell you, since I've been doing this podcast, I've interviewed a lot of women in my daily vocations, and it's the same thing. It's, I'm just going to give what I'm going to give. And then the man has to check off all these boxes before he can step to me and I'm interested. But it's like they just do whatever they want to do. And then the guy, he has to do everything. And then she just kind of brings whatever she brings and he just kind of has to deal with it. But as you know, any guy that's reputable, respectable, and has integrity and let's call them high value in this instance, they're not going to put up with that. And if they're about playing games, at least getting the box, you know, they're going to jump through the hoops to get the box, and then they're going to lose interest and sort of fade away and allow her to move on. And, you know, that's how it usually works out.
How you plan on being married?
I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, I have some work that I need to do on myself.
Okay.
And I plan on seeking that. And I'm not going to go into a relationship or pursue that if I don't feel like I'm in that space to give you the best of me. So,
you know what I feel like right now? I'm just hearing words.
That's
facts.
Because what I'm hearing is, I'm listening just to the structure. I can't tell you when the last time I was in a relationship, which implies years and years ago, and you said it was just last year. Okay, those two things don't line up. How long
That's
were you
right.
together? 6 months. That's short. When's the last time you had a relationship over 2 years? In 35 years? Never.
Never.
Then where are the relational muscles? And then you say, well, I want to get married, but I'm not doing any work. You're running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I said I was doing work. I'm working on it.
You're in therapy right now?
No, it's not my budget, but I
Not
just
in the
moved
budget.
and I have a lot that's going on, so it's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. I've learned this from a trained social worker in the professional field of counseling. That is the biggest cap in the world, saying that it's not in the budget. I'm going to tell you now, people, they have services out there for people. I know because I actually did the research from this professional that I know, that if you cannot afford counseling, whether it's a psychology, psychiatry, whatever type of therapy you're looking at, they have places that offer free or scale. So if you make little to no money, you can get free services. If you make little to moderate, you can get scale. And of course, if you have the money to pay for it, you can pay for it on your own. But definitely,
this is a certified hood classic.
All right, let's continue. It's not a long video, so we won't have much longer to deal with this.
Definitely. And then
Okay.
next month.
So I need you to understand.
He lives in the hood.
There is a clock on women for relationships. How much time do you think the average 35-year-old woman has?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I know I'm running out of time.
You're not acting.
Do you
like
want
it.
children?
I do.
Then you're certainly running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware.
So budget or not, see how that works?
I
See?
look, I completely understand what you're saying, where you're coming from.
But
I know that I have to. I know that I have not been with my relationship.
She has bad Wi-Fi. Nope, she disappeared.
Other
I
things.
don't know what's going on.
I mean, I
It
can
just happened.
Guess that Wi-Fi is not in
completely
her budget
understand
either.
what you're saying and
Well-
what I need to work
Well,
on.
the thing is, you kind of remind me of a woman I just had a conversation with, and she's 35 years old too. And so many women, you say the right things, but you give the impression that you'll be the exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, I get it, but I'm running out of time. But the way you talk about it, or you live in your life, or what you're doing, implies that I'll be the exception.
That's
At
fact.
35,
Mm-hmm.
and no relational skills. And most OBGYNs don't recommend carrying a child past age 42.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm aware.
So, all right. So all this stuff is coming together. You saying my budget and this and that. All right. How's it going to? Because here's the thing: if it doesn't get fixed, are you prepared to live the rest of your life alone?
I am.
Okay.
There he goes.
I mean,
I'm a realist.
There you go.
I get that
There
I'm
you go.
35.
There you go.
I don't look it, but at the end of the day,
well, I would say
I'm going to say this about age, and women, they say that a lot. I'm going to tell you this, and it always happens this way. A lot of women look great, and people in general, this is not just women's, men, people in general, don't look their age, and then one day, boom, they look like their age or close to it. I'm going to tell you, it's never fails. I don't know anyone that, that they stay youthful forever. Some people look good for their age, but most people, the age catches up with them, whether it's weight, they get bloated, whatever it is that happens to a lot of people, swollen, look at Diddy. He's kind of swole up lately. People like that, they get older. Salt and Pepper looking swollen these days. So, you get a certain age and then that age just kicks in. So even LL Cool J, you can see the age on him now. I mean, he looks great. He's in great shape, definitely better shape than I am, but time is caught up, and time doesn't evade anybody. And at some point you'll be old. And even though you don't look your age, you are your age. And that comes with certain circumstances, unless you're going to lie to people and tell them you're younger than you really are.
not be in the cards for me.
Well, I don't think it's not in the cards. I mean, you got, how many
I don't
jobs do
have
you
the
have?
best track record. No.
How many jobs do you have?
How many jobs do I have?
Mm-hmm.
I have 3, and I'm about to start a full-time job.
Are you an actress or something?
No, I model. I'm a
They
women's
did
wear
something.
designer, and I've been working. I'm about to manage a pop-up.
Okay. All right.
That's
So
rough.
I gotta be still. It's you got to invest in what's important.
Yes.
You got to do what's important first.
That's facts.
So modeling
Take
this,
care of
that's
me
and
first.
so forth, because the you can be an attractive woman, but if your relational skills don't work, you won't be there.
That's
No,
true.
So
definitely.
it's like so I hear this too often. This is why when I say the kind of women that high value men tend to avoid: attorneys, physicians, psychiatrists, nurses, creatives, massage therapists, stylists, nail technicians, all have a lot of the same things in common. And I hope you can find a way to fit it into your budget, because there are some things that I think you will be able to discover if you sit down with somebody. And you don't want time to actually. Okay, we're starting to have a bad connection over there. She's starting to fall out there. Okay.
And that's the end of the video there. And I just wanted to add furthermore that in a situation like that, here's the deal. And I see this far too often, and I often get into arguments with ladies that I'm friendly with. Some of them I would consider friends, but most of the women I know, I can't necessarily say they're friends of mine, but I know them, whether we've worked together or we come into contact somehow that we interact with one another. But what usually happens is these things come up all the time. And I'll tell you, I was just talking to someone recently, and I ask a lot of questions because I really try to understand, get a better perspective so I could better present myself in relationships and be a better person for myself and get a perspective that I can't see from this side. So, a lot of times you're in a relationship, you don't see what you do wrong when you're in it. And it's best sometimes to just ask questions and get a perspective from the other side, sometimes from other men or what have you. But in this situation here, she's an attractive person. And I can tell you, and I had a friend like this. I know that's taboo in this world, having lady friends, but I did have a friend. Her name is Chanel. And she, same situation like that, but she was married before. She isn't married now, but the thing with her is whatever issue she had, she said, oh yeah, I have issues. It's hard for me to want to get involved. But here's the thing that sort of clogs up the relationship situation with a lot of women, especially as they get older. They get a lot of attention, which it leads up to short term, and then it becomes trouble, and then they don't really find who they're looking for, and then they probably give the good guys hard times when they come along. And a good guy, I'm going to be straight up, more times than not, unless he's trying to cape and save someone, he's going to walk away. I know I would. If I met a woman and she was giving me a hard time and I was trying to build something with her and she just refused to do that, I would just move on. It just makes no sense to chase after somebody that doesn't want to be caught. And in that situation, when I was talking to you about Chanel, what happened with her, she just decided that she would replace relationships with friend zones. And then that sort of interferes with her getting into relationships because she's like, well, I don't really have time for it. And she has all these guys around her that occupy her time. They drive her here, they take her there, they go places with her. Anything she needs, she has a guy that meets that need without the sexual attention that she would require from a relationship. So moving forward to this conversation, back to this lady, attractive, I'm not going to dog her out or anything like that, but she has a very aggressive mentality. And a lot of times that aggressive way causes conflicts when it comes to relationships. And it looks like that might be the case here, as she's pretty much been in short-term relationships for most of her life. And then I think she says situationships, which is basically, I like him, he likes me, there's a sexual attraction, something happens and it doesn't work out and we go on our own ways. And she seems like she had quite a bit of those. And in her industry, being a model, I'm pretty sure she meets guys like that all the time. And that's the reality of what happens when it comes to relationships. When, like he said, you don't build upon yourself, and you don't improve, and you don't understand your dysfunction and move on. All right, folks, it's time for the braces, and then we're out. Relationship braces. Bringing hearts together, one heart at a time. 35-year-old single woman, no kids, 3 jobs. What can you possibly do to avoid the sands of time running out on you and you're destined for loneliness? Here's the thing. First of all, you can't self-sabotage yourself, and that sounds like what she's doing. She's already accepted defeat. She sort of contradicted herself on one end. She says that she's trying to work on herself, and on the other, she says she's all right if she doesn't find anybody. Well, here's the thing. You cannot get somewhere you don't work to get. So if you're not working for a relationship, if your thought is you're okay with not finding one, then that tells me you're not going to work very hard for it, because you've already accepted that's a great possibility for you. And no one goes to college with the intention of not getting a career. I don't know anyone who does it, whether it's a police department or FBI or lawyer, doctor, nurse, teacher, whatever it is, your occupation. Most people don't go to college to say, well, I'm going to go to college and get this degree, but there's a good chance I'm just going to be a bum for the rest of my life and never get a job. People don't say that. So for her to admit defeat before she's even really tried tells me that she doesn't really take the attempt seriously. So you got to take yourself seriously. You got to take the attempt seriously. You got to understand that you have to change for the sake of change. Forget about saying, I'm not changing for no one. You have to change for the self of change. We all do, if we're not getting the results we need in life. It's just impossible. If you're not getting the results you need or want, you have to make changes. That's the only way you'll get anywhere. And those are the braces. All right, folks, this was a quick one, very painless. Hopefully you enjoyed it. For those of you, I appreciate you letting me know that you're not getting the notifications of my videos. This is very sad what YouTube has done to me. I'm not sure why. They've sort of knocked me off the algorithm, but hopefully I shall rise again one day. But until then, I thank you all for your help, for your support, and if you got love, for your love. With that being said, it's Jonathan St. James for the Truth is Still Straight podcast, and I am out.